Hello Michelle. I was trying to figure out what would happen if you didn't vlog, so thank you for vlogging while you were sick, because I was like, we never discussed this. Do I just go ahead and make one anyway? Maybe I could be a brat and pretend that you made one and be like, Michelle, why were you talking for 95 minutes about how you like to smoke the ashes of burnt peas? So thank you for saving me from my quandary, and I hope you are much better now. The end. Bye! Not really. Thank you so much for your advice on drawing. I will take any and all advice that I can get. I do have some questions for you. Number one, how did you ever start drawing? Can you remember being interested and enjoying drawing for as long as you can remember, and it's just always been a part of your life? Number two, how do you store art supplies? I have these big tubs that are really ugly and awkward that I've just been shoving things into. I would like a much nicer way to store things so that they are readily accessible but also inviting, like I can see what I have and I want to use it more, and also so that it's not so ugly and it's more user-friendly. Number three, can you recommend some drawers or artists on Instagram for me to follow? I will search for I think you said urban sketches. I will search for that hashtag, but if you have any particular people that you think are good to follow, that would be nice. Thank you. I am in love with a YouTuber. It just recently happened. I think that actually she must have been promoted by either an algorithm or a person behind the scenes of YouTube somehow, because she popped up for me and it seems like she's popped up for a lot of people. Her name is Furrylittlepeach on YouTube. I will link. And her name is Shan Danthi. She is a Sydney illustrator and artist and maker, and I just love her vlogs so much. I will link to two of her videos below, which I think are really worth watching. One shows Shan listening to an audiobook and sketching ideas that pop into her mind inspired by the audiobook as she goes along. Then she puts together a final watercolor piece based on all of her ideas from the sketches at the end. The other video shows Shan decorating some homemade wrapping paper. It's so simple and she shows all the steps, and the end result is just gorgeous. It's so inspiring to me because I would have seen the end result, that homemade wrapping paper actually covering a gift, and I would have thought, this looks so great and I can tell that someone has made this, but I could never do that because there's probably things about the process that are little things that you should know along the way, and if I tried to give it a go with, you know, just choosing some kind of paper and some kind of paint and some kind of paintbrush, there are probably things that I wouldn't know, that I would completely stuff it up and I just wouldn't give it a go in the first place. So it's so great seeing her steps. Maybe I could make something like that too. Which leads me to creative fear. I don't know if that's the best way to describe what I'm trying to summarize here, but it's like not giving things a go. Even like my house, I want to make some changes, and speaking to other people, they're like, I would have just ripped up a bit of the carpet and seen what the floorboards are like, or I would have just peeled off some of the front layer of the wall, like, because it's kind of bumpy, and I would have seen what it's like underneath, or I would have just bought like a little bit of paint from the paint shop and just given it a splash and then painted another color around the windows to see what those two colors look like, and given maybe like a few sets of colors a go to see what I like and what I didn't like. I remember reading once this artist said that like they had this amazing house and it was all photographed in this magazine, and part of the interview was like, you know, you've got this amazing house that, like, you know, maybe there was like a azure blue door on their bedroom and there was like a mural that she had painted on the wall and just like really cool stuff all through the house. And they were like, you know, where do you get your inspiration from? And she's like, well, I just play. The best interiors come from artists because they don't care about stuffing up. They know that you can paint and then you can paint over it. And I realized that, oh my gosh, that's exactly me. I never give something a go. I always feel like it has to be the final thing. I feel like if I choose a color for these walls, that I couldn't change it after that. Or if I decided that I would try painting an azure blue door on my bedroom, that, you know, if I hated it, that I can't change that, or that I've, you know, paid for the paint and that would be a waste. And the more that I watch videos like Shan's videos where she's making things, the more that I see that she's just like having an idea and she's getting the supplies and she's trying to make that thing. And if it doesn't quite match what the vision that she had in her head. That's okay. Like, she made something like that, and maybe she scraps it and she has like a big pile of things that is like her artwork to be thrown out. I realized that I'm scared of wasting money and I'm scared of making mistakes. I really admire my dad because he, like Sean, goes out, buys some things and tries some things and gives it a go. And, you know, with a painting, like, he tries one thing and then he like almost scraps it, paints over the top of it, changes things, and it's not that big of a deal. I really want to get over this being a scaredy cat about trying things. I think that I've stuck with words for so long because they're easy for me to change and they feel like I'm not making too big of a risk. I'm not wasting money. I'm not trying to get something out there that's so final that I can never amend it again. And I want to try not just words. I want to try actual visual. I want to try doing something to my house. I want to try painting. I've actually signed up for a painting class, which I'm a bit scared about, which all leads me to my last topic, my dream home. We bought our house last Christmas, and since we have been living here, I've been thinking a lot about my dream space. I have to spend a lot of time here because of the children. And in the past, a house to me was always just a bed, basically. I went out and I did things in the world and I came back to sleep and then I went out again. After I had children and I was spending so much time in my house, I realized that I actually need to really make this a beautiful space. I want to make it a place that I want to come back to. I want to be so happy in this space, in this house. And the possibilities are pretty much endless, like, except for money, of course. I can paint the walls, I can paint the doors, I can, you know, throw the kitchen in the bin and get a new one. But I'm completely overwhelmed and I don't know where to start. I got a quote for my ideal scenario. There's just the downstairs, there's a couple of walls knocked out. The children's room is made a bit bigger because the back of the house is actually like this hokey sort of, I don't know if you remember, it's this sort of tacked on porch thing, and if that was built on properly it would make the kids' bedroom bigger. Jetpack is sneezing. And then the laundry would have to be rebuilt, the kitchen could be rebuilt, and the quote came back at around $300,000, which is nuts. The company wasn't open to doing it in stages. They told me that I would waste money doing it that way, that there would be inefficiencies. There's no way that I can do a $300,000 renovation to the house. I need to do it in stages. I need to also figure out, you know, what's something that I can do to begin with that at least makes me feel like I've made a change. It's more me. So I've been frozen by fear. The like fear of getting things wrong and wasting money. I've been frozen by doubt. I've been frozen by too many choices. I've saved like pictures of places that I like, but actually there's like quite a few pictures that don't have things in common, so it's like I can't even fine-tune that. I want to set the carpet on fire. I hate the color of the walls. I hate like the dark stain wood. The back of the house, like I said, is like this tacked on porch that's kind of falling apart. I don't know what to do. I need help. Send help. In your video, you said you wanted to learn resilience, grittiness, and completing things. And I'm intrigued. Like, how would you even go about any of those things? I too want to learn more about those things. So I want to know, what are your like next steps? And the only other thing that I had to say was, haha, not really. I have so much to say, but you know, YouTube. When you say, for example, about learning a language, you made me think of a workshop that we went to at Webstock with Merlin Mann, and how he was talking about really examining your wish list, examining whether they really should be there. Like, if you have something on your list that is like year after year, I want to get fit and go to the gym, or I want to learn a new language, and that wish is like there again and again and again, and you're feeling shitty because like you're never actually doing it. Do you remember him saying that? I got much better at recognizing my fake wishes after that, and so there are some things that I don't have on my list anymore that were there for ages. There are also some things that I had on my list, like reading more books, that I realized I was being too boneheaded about how I was approaching it. I was buying these books that I really wanted to read, and then I was never sitting down with them. And I never had them around because, you know, I'd be somewhere and I'd be like, oh, I should read a book now. I'm out and about. I don't have a physical book on me. The book is on my bookshelf at home. And so I started just reading them on the Kindle app on my iPhone, which is a tiny screen, and I thought I would hate, and then I started actually reading them properly, and I've been getting through more than one a month now. So I was wondering also with your wishes if you had maybe any fake wishes in there, or trying to do them in a certain way that maybe there would be another way to do them that might seem less proper or something, but it might be make it easier for you. Okay, love you, bye.